All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 8:32. 8:32. Good morning. This is welcome to Beyond Charts Morning Brew. My name is Angel, and we're gonna see what's going down. Who's out there? There's a lot of people waiting, excited for the week. All right. What's up? Good morning, James. What's going down? How's everything doing? Getting up early. All right. I like the early birders. All right. So far right now, the markets are holding pretty strong. We don't have a sell off. The news has not been, has been kind of even all throughout. The futures are backing up a little bit. The one thing I have noticed here, oil is getting a little bit higher. We're going to be keeping a close eye on that. It's $108 at this moment of time. Could it retest the 130s? Possibly. Bitcoin is down. So we are looking pretty good. Last week, we had a significant rally. I mean, a major rally. So can we keep it going? What's up, Skates? What's up? Good morning. So let's see what's out there. So right now, what do we have? We have, let's go into the overall markets. Let me take a look here. All right, we're going to be looking at the overall markets here. We're looking at the XPX, the NDX, and Russell. And this is basically my little kitty. What's up? All right, he's not feeling too good, but I have to take to a vet. That's why if you notice my screen has vet stuff on there. All right, but let's go. All right, so as far as the XPX, huge significant here. We broke the 50-day moving average. We're about to embark on the 200-day moving average. That's pretty significant. That's 44.71. You got to print that. If we break that, or do we reject that level? So far, it looks pretty good. MACDs have turned around. Can it break zero for the first time since this is the first time that we've been below zero or above zero was back in January 14th. That's pretty significant. So once again, that's when we broke down. Can we break up and start breaking down and forming higher highs or higher lows? Or are we just going to hang out in this area for a little bit? Don't know. Again, remember, this weekend I was looking at just this. Somebody brought this up to my attention. Perception is reality. So at the end of the day, what does the market think at this moment of time? Does it, so at this moment of time, the Fed decided to kick the can down the road. So the market does like that. That's why we rally a little higher. Now, what are the effects of that? Well, that's going to happen later. I don't think it's going to be very positive, but we can't focus on that right now because the opportunity right now is upside. The path of least resistance is up at this moment. As you can tell, the last 3 days, we shifted pretty hard. So on the XPX, what are we looking at? Let's see if we can regain that 50-day moving average, 43.38. I put my levels up there on the Patreon group. I think it was 44.25. Let me see if I can take a look here. I think it's here. Let me see. So this is the level I'm looking at on the E-minis. It's 44.25, right in there, and see if that holds. If that doesn't hold today, I think more likely we can probably go back down to 4,300. This is for the week. Now, if it does hold, then more than likely we can higher. All right, but let's see. So the XPX right now, let's see if that works out right now, or do we pull back again? Is it going to happen today? Well, the market still looks pretty strong. I'm looking at Tesla. I'm looking at Shop. A lot of things are moving pretty nicely pre-market here. So don't know if that's going to have any effect on it, but let's see. Let's see if we hold and regain that level, the 50-day moving average. On the NASDAQ right now, we're breaking through. Again, pretty significant here. We're about to break the 50-day moving average, working its way higher. So again, we see money coming back into tech, and that is a positive. Now, the IWM, now these two have been the weakest. Remember, they fallen down from the high graces, and this has been the weakest. So let's see what happens. What was this really all about? Could it be the short covering maybe that happened? Everybody was extremely bearish, and then they needed to cover their shorts, and that's what we rallied up. We're going to find out this week. But let's see. Right now on the IWM or the RUT, we're looking at 2106. Let's see if that can hold. Okay. We got that out of the way. Let's look at the VIX. The VIX right now, you can tell that we've sold off pretty significantly, which tells us that fear has died down. Now, Can we go lower, or are we going to stay in this range? Now, 23.76 is the line in the sand. If we start breaking below that, then more than likely that means that, we're probably going to be bullish. But right now, fear is entering into the marketplace, which is as expected a little bit. Not too bad because we rallied pretty nicely. So we need to pull back a little bit. Now, the 10-year note, it is climbing 2.23. This is climbing pretty significant, 1.69. So the 10-year note is climbing. So at some moment, we'll feel the effects of this. At some moment of time, I'm just telling us this money's becoming more expensive. Okay. Now you do have to watch oil prices, because if it starts going to the 130, at some moment the market is going to feel that pinch, and we'll see if it starts reacting to that. But ultimately, keep an eye on this, and it looks like it could rally. As far as today, on the XPX, we rallied really, really nicely. We had an entry last week on the 50-day moving average on the hourly time frame, and just kept going. Looks like it still wants to go a little higher. Maybe a pullback is imminent here, but we'll see. And again, on the 50-minute time frame, you had about 2 entries, one back to back, and then just never took off. On the minute time frame, you have multiple entries, but these are quick trades. But let's see. Now, right now, what I'm noticing right now, the E-minis are going to be at 44.49. That's going to put us roughly 44.60, right? 49.60 is going to put me right in here. So we're holding a high. So can we continue going higher? So we're going to be looking for squeezes here. Don't know what's going to happen here. Let's see at the open, and let's see what happens there. Again, we have about another 45 minutes before anything can happen. As far as Bitcoin, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is squeezing really, really nicely. At some moment, I do think that we're going to see this thing climb, depending on what's happening in this. I mean, here, long-term effects, macro effects. We know that inflation is hot. How are they going to combat it? At a quarter basis point is not going to be enough, right? So people are going to be looking for anti-inflationary hedges. I'm just looking to see, when is Bitcoin going to take that stance? And so far, I'm noticing hasn't really sold off. It's just kind of lingering. So that might be a potential play. I see it kind of just lingering, not really moving, just kind of holding steady. So keeping an eye on that, but it's right there. All right, and so is Ethereum. Okay, but Bitcoin as well. All right, so let's look at the overall markets. The overall markets rally really nicely, and a couple of plays that I've kind of read off the bat. Let's see, what am I looking at here for a potential play today? So let's see. Okay, so right now, XPX does need to pull back to the 50 to get a high probability. NDX rally nicely, should pull back. Russell should pull back. Everything's kind of ran. Google ran nicely. Yeah, some nice entry on Google. Now, we did see money coming back into tech. That's a positive, right? So, can Google continue running? That is a possibility, but we don't like it right now. It's too far away. It needs to pull back a little bit. Amazon, the antitrust deal is over. I mean, but it still didn't rocket. It could rocket based on that news, but it got thrown out. So let's watch it at 3,200. It should rally. Tesla just keeps going up. Again, rally up another 20 points. It held pretty nicely into the close, into Friday, which is a positive. Can Tesla hit 1,000? Possibly. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it pulls back. ISRG started around. So everything rally, everything on this page rally, CMG rally. Nothing is really setting up in this time frame. So if we don't have it in this time frame, we're going to be looking at other time frames. All right, let's look at LRCX. LRCX, I don't know if the war is over. If the war is over, then you're going to have a company like LRCX is going to do really, really well. I just don't know anything about the war. Like, is it over? Don't know, but we do notice that if that war is over or getting close to being over, then the neon thing is going to take off. So we'll settle on that. Now, Shopify has been on a tearing spree. So this thing about Shopify that happened, there was about at the close on Friday, there was exactly, and I wrote this thing down. Let me see exactly to give you the numbers, 800,000 shares to buy on Shopify. 800,000 shares on Shopify to buy at the close. And that's what drove it up. So was it, I don't know. Was it, I think it might have been calls, and they just kind of, the brokers gave people their calls. Like they just exercised their calls and they forced them to buy it at that level. So I think that's what happened. But again, very, very bullish. There's a lot of bullish news right now that we have to take advantage of it right now. Okay. So Roku squeezing, maybe Roku. Netflix, Mercado Libre, NVIDIA looks decent. All right, let's look. We have Upstart, we have Affirm, and these are all the ones that got beaten up pretty badly. Zoom, okay. Roblex looks good. All right, let's look into let's go into Tesla. I'll start here and then we'll break this thing down. So Tesla on the hourlies, too far away, can still run. It's still holding that 4-day moving average on the hourly perspective. Okay, so on the 15-minute time frame, pulling back. Is it going to pull back here? It looks like it wants to run. It's squeezing right now pre-market. Pre-market, we're going to be looking at 923. If it takes that out, it can run, okay, for today, because that's the high, that pre-market high. They drove it up really, really nicely from 898 to 924 pre-market. Okay, so this is it's very, very bullish, extremely bullish, right? And it's holding its highs. So watch it at the open, and we'll see. If it takes out 923, it can probably go to 950. Now, 952 is really, really hard. 950 on Tesla, really, really hard. It can sell off 50 or break through and give you 50. But remember, from weeks ago, 950 is really, really hard. So let's see what happens there. Now, it looks good pre-market. In the 50-minute time frame, it's looking pretty good. I would say watch it at 924. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen in the next 45 minutes. But right now, MACDs are telling me that they can probably pull it back here. Let's see. And just wait. You want to get the setup close to the 50. All right, let's look at the Googster. Google. Rally nicely. Nice move here, right? Pulling back here in the 50-minute time frame. So that's good. Let it pull back. Let it come back. Let's see where it can go. Can it go to 27.19? 27.19 is going to put you right in here, right? Right in here. Let it pull back. Let it set up. It looks like it needs to pull back a little bit. So let's see if it can come down to 26.94, 2700, and let's see what happens there. We have Amazon. Amazon. I keep hitting the wrong keyword. Okay. Amazon. Okay, so Amazon. You have Amazon 3220. Pulling back a little bit. Let's see what happens there. Let's see what happens here. Let it pull back. I think that the market needs to pull back a little bit. That's my guess. My guess is the market needs to pull back. Yes. Oh, what was that? I'm sorry. So Grady, are we still using the 4 a.m. candle? Yes, we are. All right. Amazon needs to pull back a little bit. So let it pull back. We rally nicely. I want to see where this market goes in the beginning. Right now, let's see Amazon 3,200. Can it hold that? 3,200 is being bought. Let's see. Let's see if it could come back down to around 3,200. Let's see if we can get a nice setup here. On the hourly, it's telling me that we do need to pull back. We can retest the highs here of 32.32. And again, so ideally, I would like this to pull back a little bit and then run up. Because if we run up, then we're probably going to take out. It's probably going to sell, right? They're going to sell into the rip, I believe. All right, let's look at Tesla. We covered. Let's look at CMG. Rally nicely. Nice rally on CMG. Let's see. We'll like this to pull back as well. Let's see. It's running. All right. what are the other ones that we looked at here? Let's look at Roku. Let's look at Roku. Roku. All right. So Roku, we have it right here. Okay. On the hourly, needs to pull back a little bit. 124. A lot of chop action pre-market. Okay. Not a clear district. It probably needs to pull back a little bit. Okay. Can it get to 116, which is there, or 119? 119, 116. That's going to put us right in this pivot point. Let's see what happens there. I think it probably should pull back a little bit. Okay. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix ran as well. Trying to go pre-market, sold off 381. So this is the movement that we're looking at here. 381 is going to be really, really difficult. Pulling back here. Pulling back. 366. That puts me 373, 368. Let's see around here if it can pull back to there and set up. Dropping pretty hard here. All right, let's see. Shopify. Shopify. Okay, let's go. Shopify. Nice moves here. So this 781 is going to be, I mean, does it go back up there and retest that at some moment of time? It's been up there. That is a possibility. So if that is a possibility, then we'll probably pull back. Right now in the 1 minute time frame, we're kind of like just hanging out here. Buyers are coming in pre-market here. So let's see if we can get down to 694. Does it stay there very long? Okay, does it stay there very long? 694. Pre-market, if it can break 714, then it could retest that 780. So that's one we're watching at the open. Let's see if this sets up nicely. If we can start bouncing, then maybe we can start running higher. And then you're going to see you're going to see these moving averages spreading apart. That's telling you that this move is going to get started. All right, but that's how we do. We need these MACDs above zero though. So let it come above zero and start rallying up nicely like this and start going up. And then we can get that confirmed bounce on that. That's Shopify. We'll look at the, let's look at the 800s. The 800, 750, 780 calls, 800s. And probably even look 2 weeks out because I think this can run. If it breaks 781, it can really rally. I mean, let me see right here. Yeah, I mean, if it breaks right there, that 816 is going to be difficult on the 50-day. This is the dailies, guys. So we have that 811 pretty hard. 815. 815. Shopify. Okay. Wait, that's 816. 820. 820. Okay, so that's pretty hard. So I mean 781. We're opening. This is where it closed. Yeah, it closed at 780. So we're gonna open at 705. We're right there. Just started fresh MACD. So this should come back and retest that 780. 815 pretty hard. We're right there. I think it could come to retest that. And if it breaks through, it'll be the first time it broke through since December 10th, right? If it breaks through. So this is one we're going to be watching. It's moving nicely. Let's see if it breaks through. We pulled back pretty significant here. So that's one we're looking at. And give yourself 2 weeks, 3 weeks out if you want. That's because if this breaks, it's going to have a big move to the upside. All right. I'm trying to give you quality here. See, like things like that. That was a good one. So that's Shopify looking pretty strong. Let's look at Apple. Apple squeezing right there. Let's see what happens here. If the moving averages start going sideways, starts taking 164, it could rally. These options are going to be really cheaper, guys. So this is why we look at it. from an hourly perspective. And remember, it can go to that 166. So that's 3 points. 166 is the 50-day moving average on the hourlies. So again, if it ultimately start rallying here, that could be a preliminary head start right there. Let's look at Upstart because these options are really inexpensive, and it looks like it can move. So 125. And the reason why we're looking at it is because look at all the moving average squeezing on the hourlies, on the dailies, squeezing, right? And this is like divergence, basing pattern. Can it run here? 113, 160, guys, 160, 150. And these options are cheap. Buy yourself time. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, pretty inexpensive. If we start rallying, it could rally here. Okay, let's see if this holds. So again, look at Upstart, Affirm. Affirm, not quite there in the dailies, but I think Upstart looks a lot better. If we break that 43, it can go to 51. Pretty simple. All right, what else did I like here? Coinbase, ServiceNow, bookings, maybe bookings. Let's check out bookings. BKNG. Bookings. All right. Okay. Kind of choppy on bookings right now. Not really getting clear direction on the dailies. All right, but let's see. Hourlies on the dailies. All right, we're moving a little bit clearer here. Probably needs to pull back. Let's see if it can come back to 2113. 2113 would put me right in this range right here. So it looks like it's kind of having this basing action. Let's see. All right. So we had some good plays there. So we got Shopify. We have Apple. XPX. We have Tesla. They can pull back a little bit. We do have a couple of plays for today that look pretty solid. Trying to see which one, anything moving. I like the Upstart play. I like this one a lot too. Probably doing that one. All right. The chips. Squeezing. All right, I think those are the ones we're going to go with. This was one that my buddy Moses told me about, Mullen. This thing ran nicely. Let's see. And it's a pretty inexpensive stock. We talked about this at Patreon yesterday. So, again, Molliv Automotive Group squeezing here. Stock is only $290. It looks like it wants to rally here. So, let's see. It's about to break. First time it's broken to 50 since November 22nd, 2021. So that is a possibility here if you're looking for something else to trade. But again, trade the system, so let it pull back here to about 308. Because it looks like it's going to die down here a little bit. Just set it up. Let's look at SPY. And SPY pre-market moving. Okay, so on the hourlies, too far away. Okay, the 15-minute time frame, we'll like it to pull back around 442. Let's see what happens there. It looks weak. Pre-market needs to pull back. Let's see. Let's watch it at 442. Let's see how far down this thing goes. Does it set up for us nicely again? We'll see. We're gonna get the squeeze here in the moment, but it's going to be done by the time we're at 9:30. Let's look at the QQQs. All right, Qs ran nicely. Okay, we have it here in the 15-minute time frame, 350. $355 pre-market got sold off. Okay, $355. Does it get back up there? Needs to take out 351 and then can go to 355. Let's see what the MACDs tell us. Right now, it's a little bit weaker. We're trading below the 50. You might get a little choppy action at the open. Watch it for the first 15 minutes. See if it gets a direction going. and then we can trade accordingly. And how you would trade that, look for the 355s because they just got up there. And then we're going to be looking for 340, 345, somewhere in there, puts and calls. IWM. IWM, much stronger than the rest of them, but let's see. IWM pulling back 207, 206. We'll see. Not getting a clear direction here. So getting a little chop action. So we're pretty top heavy. Let's see what happens at the open. I'm going to look at the futures now a little bit. Futures are pulling back a little bit. So we're not getting a clear direction. It's almost 9 o'clock, which is fine. We rallied really, really nicely. We rallied super, super nicely. Need to pull back. Let's set these up properly first. RSRG coming back down to 285. I do like this one. I do like the Shopify. Can we retest at 780? That might be a solid move here. I'm going to looking at this one for sure. Upstart as well. Zoom selling off. And looking at Tesla for selling off here. So let Tesla set up properly. Probably needs to retest at 900. If it holds 900, then it bounces. That might be a good area to add, which puts me right here. Because remember, it can probably go to 952. It probably will. Probably will. All right. All right, that's all we got. That's all we got, guys. That is all we have for today. So we gave you some likes, great plays here. Almost 9 o'clock. No need to overtrade. Just pick your spots. Pick a few ones that you like. If there's something that I didn't cover and you like it and it has its name set up, put it up, share it with the team. But other than that, I think that's what I'm looking for today. We had a great rally. Right now the path of least resistance is up. So again, it does need to pull back. I'm not saying it's not going to pull back. It does need to pull back. But right now, let's see what this market delivers. I think it still wants to go up, but let it tell us what direction is going to go in. There's probably going to be some profit takers at the open. That's what I'm kind of like. Let it wait 15, 30 minutes and see where the moving averages take us. Let them tell us a story. All right, guys, go out there, go get it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribe yet, click on the link. And if you haven't supported the Patreon page, click on the Patreon page. We give out levels every day. If you guys been doing it, it just kind of gives you our trade plan for the next day on the E-minis, SPY, XPX. All right, guys, go out there, go get it. Stay green. Bye-bye.